What's up guys, it's Tom here and welcome to a very exciting Liverpool transfer news video because the Football Insider news outlet is reporting that Liverpool are in talks still with Newcastle, who want around £100 million for Anthony Gordon. They want around £75 million base fee plus £25 million in add-ons, and I think this is a really expensive deal that Liverpool might be able to pull through or pull off if they sell Diaz for around 70 to 75 million to either Barcelona or Paris Saint-Germain. That is the only way that I can see Liverpool signing Anthony Gordon, because Liverpool have Gakpo, Diaz and even Jota and even Darwin Núñez, who potentially can all play in the left midfielder spot, left winger spot. But if we want to upgrade on Luis Diaz, Anthony Gordon wouldn't be a bad upgrade, because he is an England international, just 23 years old, and he had a very good season at Newcastle, who bought him for 45 million. And Wayne Wasey is reporting that Newcastle have told Liverpool they want a jaw-dropping total package of £100 million for Anthony Gordon. So let me know in the comments below, would you want Liverpool to sell Diaz and to get Gordon? And if the price difference is just 20-25 million, would you be okay with that? Because Liverpool shouldn't look at this deal as we are spending 100 million on Anthony Gordon. If we spend 20 million plus a Luis Diaz transfer fee, I think that would be a pretty good deal. So in this video we will explore all the details of these reports and many other Liverpool transfer news. We have an update on Calafiori as well. So if you enjoyed these videos, of course leave a like. If you are new to my channel, make sure to subscribe and turn on the bell notification so you never miss the latest updates around Liverpool FC. And if you want me to keep making these videos, I need your support. Link is in the video description to my Patreon, where you can sign up, you get additional benefits, and you support me, my work and my channel so we can keep going. Thank you so much. So Newcastle initially requested Kwanzaa to be part of any potential deal, and it was Newcastle who actually contacted Liverpool first about this Anthony Gordon deal. And Anthony Gordon, who is a boyhood Liverpool fan, he was actually on the books of Liverpool until the age of 11, where he got released. But he's a boyhood Liverpool fan. He spoke glowingly about Liverpool, that his idol growing up was Steven Gerrard, and he loves Anfield, he loves the You Never Walk Alone song. From his words and from the journalist saying that Gordon now wants to play for Liverpool. So if Newcastle can get a deal done with Liverpool, Anthony Gordon would love to play for his boyhood club. That indicates to me that Anthony Gordon is pushing for this deal to go through, and the reason why Newcastle contacted Liverpool to sell Anthony Gordon was that they were in big trouble for potentially breaching the profit and sustainability rules. But then they sold two players, Minta to Brighton for around 33 million and Elliot Anderson to Nottingham Forest for 35 million. So they got almost 70 million now, which gets them clear of breaching these rules. But because Liverpool rejected a player plus cash deal, Newcastle are now saying that they would be willing to accept a straight cash deal, and they want a very big profit on Gordon after paying 45 million to Everton for his signature. And remember, Anthony Gordon actually handed in a transfer request at Everton to force through a move, so it's not unthinkable that he would do the same at Newcastle, because his head is really turned by this Liverpool offer. Newcastle want around 75 million for Gordon plus another 20-25 million in bonuses and add-ons depending on how Gordon does, and that's a really high fee. But as I said, if Liverpool can sell Diaz for 75 million, then I can see this deal could happen. And Anthony Gordon was Newcastle's best player. He won the Player of the Season award, and he had a very impressive Premier League campaign, scoring 12 goals and getting 11 assists after joining Newcastle 18 months ago, and he quickly became a key player. And furthermore, transfer guru Fabrizio Romano revealed that Anthony Gordon himself was over the moon when he heard about Liverpool's interest and that Newcastle and Liverpool were in talks to sign him. He absolutely loves Liverpool, even though he used to play for Everton. He's a boyhood Liverpool fan. He was actually on Liverpool's books as a youngster before joining Everton at the age of 16. So Fabrizio Romano said, "What I'm told is that the deal was never really close between Liverpool and Newcastle because Newcastle asked for Jero Kwanzaa plus money and Liverpool didn't want to let Jero Kwanzaa go at any circumstances. But they had a conversation and they had an exchange about the possibility. The price tag was too high for Liverpool to make things happen. A swap deal was also really complicated. Liverpool didn't want to lose some of their best players. So it was an idea, it was a conversation, but it was never really something close. But the player, Anthony Gordon, was over the moon. And he was keen, and he is keen on joining Liverpool. But at the end, between the two clubs, like Alexander Isak with Chelsea, it was never something really concrete. Because Newcastle would only sell some of their key players if they absolutely had to. Minte was on loan at Feyenoord last season working with Arne Slot, so he wasn't a regular at Newcastle, and Elliot Anderson was also just a bench player. So Newcastle always favored, selling fringe players for big money than selling, some of their starting 11 players. And the new report sets the Anthony Gordon record straight over this Liverpool transfer talks because Newcastle was the club first who initiated contact with Liverpool regarding Anthony Gordon. Some newspapers in and around Newcastle claimed that it was Liverpool who approached Newcastle. They of course tried to give some good PR around this deal in Newcastle's favor, but now it was confirmed that it was Newcastle who contacted Liverpool, and yes, it was Newcastle's idea that they wanted Kwanzaa plus money, but Liverpool had no intentions of letting Kwanzaa go, and Newcastle asking for 80 million for Gordon was deemed too costly for a straight cash deal. And I agree with Liverpool. I'm on the opinion that unless we get a crazy offer for Luis Diaz, which is 70-75 million from either Barcelona or Paris Saint-Germain, we shouldn't sell Diaz. We shouldn't sell Diaz for 40-50 million. If we get this crazy offer, 75 million, Anthony Gordon is pretty much the same price, but he's 4 years younger. And he's a faster player than Diaz. Diaz is a good finisher. Sometimes his decision making is not, top notch. He's not as good as Sadio Mane was in his prime. But Luis Diaz is still a very, very good player. And in a system which suits him, because look at how Luis Diaz plays for Colombia. At Colombia, everybody works and plays towards getting the best out of Luis Diaz. While at Liverpool, the system wasn't necessarily designed under Jurgen Klopp to get the best out of Luis Diaz. So if Arne Slot can deploy a system getting the best out of Luis Diaz, I think his goals and assist ratio will go up. So if I had to choose between Anthony Gordon or keeping Luis Diaz, I would choose keeping Luis Diaz. I still feel that there is more to come from him, and I would give him one more season. Anthony Gordon will be interested in joining Liverpool 1 year from now. Usually how these things works, you start your interest in a player, and down the line, in 1 or 2 years, you eventually get him when he's running down his contract. Right now, of course, with Anthony Gordon just joining Newcastle 18 months ago, they can ask ludicrous amounts of money because Anthony Gordon still has a long contract at Newcastle. And now Newcastle are increasingly confident that they can keep Anthony Gordon and Isak because they managed to sell 2 players, so they are well clear of breaching the profit and sustainability rules, because they brought in around 70 million pounds into the Newcastle coffers, if you like. And Chelsea have inquired about Isak. Bruno Guimaraes is of course wanted by teams like Man City, Arsenal and Real Madrid. It looks like Newcastle want to reject all offers for their big players. I can see a scenario where Liverpool can get this deal done, but only if we sell Luis Diaz. And now it is expected that Anthony Gordon could stay at Newcastle at least for 1 more season. He has a contract until 2026. So next season, with Gordon having 1 more year on his contract, maybe Liverpool can get this deal done. But Newcastle would definitely just want to keep their key players, Isak, Gordon, Bruno Guimaraes, and build around them, and maybe even give more money to Eddie Howe if the profit and sustainability rules allowed it to happen. But I'm also hearing the Premier League wants to investigate these big transfer fees for Elliot Anderson, costing 35 million from Nottingham Forest. Is that really market value for a player, or are these clubs just bailing each other out so they don't breach profit and sustainability rules? It's a rather fishy for me, in my opinion, that they sell these players. And also, because of these new rules, clubs prefer to sell youth academy players who they can register their profit 100% into the accounting balance sheets, instead of selling other players, and you have to amortize their value. So it's really not a great look for the Premier League right now, that these inflated transfer fees, and especially clubs selling off their youth academy players. Chelsea have done that for many youth academy players, and that doesn't just sit right with me, but that's just my opinion. Let me know what is yours in the comments below. And Romano also posted an update about Ricardo Calafiori, who has had a great Euros, but Italy got knocked out after they got outplayed by Switzerland, but Calafiori himself did pretty well. And Liverpool continue to be not among the clubs who are interested in Calafiori, which frustrates me a little bit, because I think if we are looking to sign a left-sided centre-back, Calafiori would be absolutely perfect. And it looks like that Bologna are looking for around 38 to 42 million pounds for Calafiori. And Arsenal's interest in Calafiori is there, Romano said. Negotiations could be something to mention in the next days. Arsenal and Chelsea are the two clubs interested. We are waiting for a bid and for formal steps. The interest is there because both clubs are looking for a similar player, left-footed, someone who can play either left-back or centre-back. So Calafiori is on Arsenal's list. They also have other names. It's the same for Chelsea. For now, they are still waiting to understand the player's preference and also how much is needed for Bologna. The price tag is not clear yet. Some sources suggest around 45 to 50 million euros because his former club Basel will receive almost 50% on the future sale. What a deal Basel did! To insert a 50% sell-on clause into Calafiori's contract is absolutely genius, because now if they sell Calafiori Bologna, if they sell him for 40 million, Basel get an additional 20 million pounds on top of the transfer fee that they already agreed with Bologna when Calafiori went there. So that is an absolute genius move by Bologna. And let's look at Liverpool's options at the centre-back position, because I think Liverpool need to sign a centre-back. Because yes, we have Konate, but he's injury prone. Van Dijk is getting older, and in some games in the Euros, he didn't look as commanding as he does at Liverpool. And then we have Jero Kwanzaa, and also we have Joe Gomez. So in theory we have 4 centre-backs, but Joe Gomez is a backup left-back and backup right-back, so I'm not sure if he will be playing centre-back too many times. And if Konate gets a long injury, then we are relying on Kwanzaa and Van Dijk to play for most of the season, and that Kwanzaa is not ready to play a full season of Premier League football at Liverpool when Liverpool want to challenge for the title. If Liverpool want to get to the top 4 or top 6, then Kwanzaa is good enough. But I have a little bit of doubt that, should he play 20-25 games as a starter, Kwanzaa? That remains to be seen. But maybe Liverpool's strategy is first, Arne Slot wants to look at his centre-back options. Of course, he doesn't need to look at Konate or Van Dijk, who are at the Euros, but he can look at Kwanzaa, who is not with England, and he can look at maybe Sepp van den Berg as well in pre-season. And then Arne Slot will decide whether we need to sign a centre-back or not. Konate is hardly reliable. Konate only started 40% of Premier League matches since moving to Liverpool from Leipzig. Of course, that is impacted by Jurgen Klopp easing him in, but since then he has been injured too many times. So it's not likely that Konate will have a season where he can play 4,000 minutes in a single season. If Kwanzaa is sharing the right-sided centre-back role with Konate, then who is Van Dijk's workload? Who will play when Van Dijk needs a rest, or when he inevitably picks up little knocks and injuries? Van Dijk will be 33 years old next week. Joe Gomez could step up, and Joe Gomez was like the James Milner of the Liverpool squad last season, where he played everywhere in defensive midfield, at left back, centre back, right back. But I think a centre back is needed for Liverpool, in my opinion. I think that's a more pressing concern than bringing bringing in a left back, and Calafiori would be perfect because he can play left-sided centre-back or even left-back, so I think that would be a fantastic transfer. But it looks like Liverpool for some reason are not interested. I can only see a reason where, Arne Slot wants to look at his options before deciding whether to move for centre-back or not. That's the only reason that I can find why Liverpool are not pursuing a centre-back. But yeah, let me know, do you think we needed to sign a centre-back? Do you agree with me or not? Let me know in the comments below, and thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this. Have a nice day. See you later. Goodbye.